Every Tuesday at 3 p.m., the laundromat was Daniel's sanctuary of solitude. At 58, the retired firefighter moved like clockwork. Wash, dry, fold. Since losing his wife Alina to cancer, his life had been bleached of color, folded with military precision, and put away. He spoke to no one. He saw no one. He was just a man drowning in grief, hidden behind a fortress of khaki pants and silence. Across the aisle, 32-year-old Naya was a whirlwind of exhaustion, juggling laundry baskets, a restless toddler, and a tense phone call with her landlord. "I know rent's late," she'd whisper, her voice cracking. "I'll have it by Friday." Recently divorced and working double shifts as a home health aide, she was running on fumes. Her son Jamal was a quiet little shadow, clutching his stuffed bear, already an expert at being good so mommy wouldn't cry. Then came a rainy Tuesday, and the laundromat's only folding table became an unexpected crossroads. Daniel got there first, claiming his usual spot. Moments later, Nia appeared, her arms overflowing with warm clothes, a tired but hopeful smile on her face. "Mind if I share the table?" she asked. Every instinct in Daniel screamed no, but then a small voice piped up. "Your shirt has a fire truck! Cool!" It was Jamal, looking up at him with wide, innocent eyes. Daniel's chest tightened. Alina had always loved fire trucks. "Sure," he mumbled, his voice rusty from disuse. They folded in a familiar, heavy silence, but then a tiny disaster struck. Jamal's bear tumbled from his grasp and disappeared into the dark abyss of a dryer vent. Before Nia could even react, Daniel was in motion. He grabbed a wire hanger from a nearby rack, straightened it with practiced hands, and expertly fished the bear out. He handed it back to Jamal, whose face lit up. "Thanks, mister." Nia's eyes welled with tears. "Thank you," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "It feels like no one's been kind to him in months." Daniel looked away, uncomfortable with her gratitude. "Kids notice," he said gruffly. "They notice when the world's hard." That was it, the first crack in his armor. The next Tuesday, Daniel arrived early. He left half the folding table completely empty, and next to it, a single juice box. For the fire truck fan, the weeks that followed weren't filled with grand romantic gestures. They were built on small, quiet acts of kindness. Shared dryer sheets, a simple, "How are you?" that actually expected an answer. Jamal, the tiny bridge between their two lonely worlds, started teaching Daniel how to fold origami bears from old receipts. One afternoon, the weight of it all became too much for Naya. As she folded a tiny pair of socks, she finally broke down. "I'm so tired," she whispered, the tears she'd been holding back finally falling. "I feel like I'm failing him." Daniel didn't offer empty platitudes or unsolicited advice. He just looked at her, his gaze steady, and said, "You're not failing, you're fighting." And he sees that. For the first time, Naya really looked at him past the stoic exterior and into the deep-seated grief in his eyes. "You're fighting too," she said softly. He gave a slow, somber nod. "I lost my wife. Feels like I lost my purpose." Nia met his gaze. "Maybe purpose isn't gone," she suggested. "Maybe it's just waiting for a new place to land." That night, Daniel didn't go straight home. He drove to her apartment complex and sat in his car, watching from a distance until he saw her lights turn on, a silent guardian angel she never knew she had. The next Tuesday, he brought cookies. She brought extra detergent. Jamal, ever the director of their little show, had made them each a hand-drawn name tag, Team Laundry. A year later, on that very same folding table, Daniel placed a small velvet box. Inside wasn't just a ring, but a note. It read, "I thought my story was over. Then you asked to share the table." Nia's tearful yes echoed softly between the humming machines. Now, every Tuesday, they still go to Sunny's laundromat. But it's different. Jamal runs freely, his laughter echoing louder than the dryers. Daniel still folds, but now, one hand is always holding Naya's, and on the wall, hung by the owner, is a small, framed sign. It says, "Some love stories start with hello. Ours started with, can I share the table?" It's a beautiful reminder that sometimes the greatest love doesn't begin with a spark, but with the quiet choice to unfold life together, one piece at a time. Thanks for watching.